Oonts. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. There's some stuff popping up right now. That's right. Okay, I'm just going to get right into this. There's no time to mess around because apparently Alamo Drafthouse has made some news today, and it's mainly one of their franchisers. So if you're joining me, it is June 6th right now. I'm just randomly jumping on. This is breaking urgent news. I'm not going to do this quite so often, but I'll do some news today. 6 Alamo Drafthouse franchise locations are closing abruptly after their owner filed for bankruptcy. And so this is not Big Alamo, as it's called. Big Alamo's just fine. I think they got plenty of locations, old Big Alamo there. If I went and looked them up, I know they've still got their Austin locations. They're New York. I'm sure they've got plenty more. So the ones that closed today are where I live, in Dallas. So I live in the Dallas area. And in fact, I was at an Alamo Drafthouse just last night to see Back to the Future Part 2. But anyway, so they're closing them all. The venues include 5 Texas locations in the DFW area. And so some of the employees, or in fact, all of the employees, they had no idea that they were losing their jobs this morning. And so some stuff has been posted on social media where there's been some like leaked staff photos of like, hey, here's the screenshot of the email we all got this morning. And so one cat posted up there that, hey, we've made the difficult decision to just shut operations down, just shut the whole mother down this morning at 5 a.m. at June 6th. What is it? So yeah, June 6th, they were like, hey, let's just shut the whole mother down. And this is, like I said, just the franchisee in Dallas, apparently. So all theater entities have filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy to allow a court-appointed blah, blah, blah. Staff can contact those people to get any wages owed. So it sounds like that franchisee is not going to pay. So this is like an Alamo Drafthouse franchisee or whatever. So I'm sure the corporate Alamo staff or big marketing company there will show up at some point and pay those people's wages. Oh yeah, Tim Tam's in there. Hey buddy. Yeah, one in Minnesota as well. Those poor Minnesota bastards. The Twin Cities. They only had one. When it said Twin Cities, you presume that there's at least 2 because there's 2 of the cities, but only one theater. So that's a real challenger situation there. They both have to share one. So yeah, it'll be 6 total, but apparently they're going to reopen. So NBC5 DFW, along with many other sources, have certainly reported that they'll try to reopen. Apparently Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas, Big Alamo, as it's called, said they'll try to reopen the 5 shuttered North Texas theaters and the Minnesota one. And the franchisee guy that went bankrupt, it's called 2 is 1, 1 is none, which sounds like a real 3-card Monty kind of name in general. Seems like you're going to be into some real shady stuff if you're dealing with a company called 2 is 1, 1 is none, LLC. It seems like some real fishy math right off the jump. But they said they were contractually obligated, this particular franchisee, to keep unprofitable locations open. And that's the bummer about a franchise agreement. Sometimes franchise agreements are great because, hey, you get to buy into something where people already know your brand and they're going to show up and they're going to give you some money. But unfortunately, yes, the franchise fees can be high. And the terms that you signed on to when you signed the franchise agreement would have stated that, yes, even if one of your locations is unprofitable, that doesn't mean you just get to shutter it immediately. So unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But I do hope Big Alamo steps in here because I am deeply saddened. Like I said, I was there last night. I've got tickets for a showing next week of maybe the greatest Western of all time. I think it's collectively agreed upon. And by far the greatest ending to any trilogy of all time. Of course, I'm referring to Back to the Future 3. It certainly trumps any other trilogy out there. It dunks on those Lord of the Rings, dunks on those Godfather boys, dunks on those Star Wars cats. I'll consider them a trilogy, even though they've messed up their whole deal. But anyway, so I have tickets for Richardson next week. I don't think it's going to be open. Yeah, exactly. Conspiracies all around. Yeah, let me go through some more comment here. Yeah, no more freaking chill parties. That's right. Definitely none there. I had somebody recommend Studio Movie Grill. I mean, I looked into it. It's fine. I'm glad that the Movie Grill is still open and going. I will go check it out at some point in time. Looked like they've got some good repertory stuff too there, but Alamo's close to me. I like Alamo. But so in a statement provided to NBC5, the parent company of Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas said they learned of the bankruptcy filing Thursday. And like I said, they would try to reopen the closed theaters as soon as possible. And they're very disappointed to learn that their franchisee, which operates 5 locations in DFW and Woodbury, Minnesota, has filed for bankruptcy. So, is what it is. That's the only real news on it I have right now. Like I said, the staff did post some stuff on social media, which is always fun, where they're like, you get to read the corporate messaging, which is really cool because it's got to be fun to come up with dumb corporate messaging about how you're going to lay off 600 people with no notice. So you get to say like, studio movie girl thumb. Is that a thumbs down, Daniel? That's it. I was like, I haven't been to an SMG in probably 15. Like I remember when they opened, I wasn't on board. So I'm sorry if I do have some some studio movie girl aficionados. Doesn't look like anybody's going to bat for him in here. But I have not returned in a long time to a studio movie grill. I do live very close to an iPick. Outstanding experience, expensive as hell. And they've only got like 4 screens. So if it's a big wide release opening weekend, you'll get the 4 big ones and then they'll be out of there pretty quick. And you don't get any cool stuff. They don't do old stuff, and you don't get weird indie or foreign films in there because they just don't have the screens. But cool experience. Yes, this was by no means an easy decision. Well, it seems like it was if they've lost plenty of money here. But then they tried to tell their employees here, in 2023, our company lost over $1 million. Okay, that's fine. And I do feel bad for them. I don't think any movies were released widely this last week. I think there was a horror film, Violent Nature thing. But since March 2020, our small family ownership has contributed $3.5 million in an attempt to keep the theater open and operating, with $2 million of these funds being contributed in the last 8 months. I mean, maybe they threw a lot more at marketing. I mean, Alamo Drafthouse has always been a great experience. I have not seen an extra $2 million spent over the last 8 months. But maybe it's all been marketing. That's what it's been, and I just missed it. I know they've been doing some radio advertising. Tommy G, did they spend some money renovating the Richardson location? Maybe so. And maybe the bars were redone or something in the last little bit. Said all of them seemed like they've been pretty static, and all the events have been just fine. But anyway, they put on cool events. I'm sad they're gone. It breaks my heart that after 10 years, this is where we are left. But the huge number of losses to the business sustained were simply too big for us to continue operations. Yeah, that's how business works. So I don't know how the other exhibitors are doing in the other cities. I don't look at Alamo Drafthouse's P&Ls. I don't think theater chains are extremely happy that Fall Guy and stuff like that is on demand in 17 days, but F it. At least they got their 17 days out of it. I don't know. Put more cool movies in. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got. The other thing, Back to the Future 3. Like I mentioned, by far the greatest Western of all time. Doc Brown, he definitely gets laid in that movie. They don't show it to you, but him and Steenburgen, they have got to be hooking up all the time in that 1 week there. So they try to play it real chaste and stuff like that, and it's very, very clean. But I know that they were meeting up after they dropped each other off because it's the 1800s. They were all dead at like 52 at the most. So like you had to hook up when you had the chance. If you saw a guy like Doc Brown who was that old, you would imagine he'd be dead in a week. So, and he was going to be in the movie. So if he also knew that, he would go hook up. And he even says in the second one that he's going to go explore women. So he wanted to do some exploring. Plus, he'd already been there 8 months. We don't know how many other weird, like, barmaid wenches he'd hooked up with in that old West town. And I know the ratios weren't good. It's like Tinder or Hinge, from what I'm told. It's like 90% dudes and 10% women. But I'm sure you could still pay for some loving in the old West. I don't know. So certainly Doc Brown went down that road as well. But either way, didn't seem like he was really too focused on repairing that time machine. I think he just buried it or something like that. He was just hanging out, being a blacksmith, having a good time. So I bet he hooked up with lots of women. Bet he hooked up with Steam Virgin. Wish I could see it next week on the big screen because the Silvestri score, that's what really stood out the most. No offense to the cinematography on old Back to the Future 2 there. It was all fine. Great seeing it on a big screen. Great story. Love the film. But the score, you hear it in a big theater. That's what you need more of. So I'll give Studio Movie Grill a try. If they're playing old stuff, I looked at their calendar. I mean, they've got some fine old stuff that's coming up. So I'll check it out. I don't know. Other places, like I said, Texas Theater's far south from me. I got to get down there more often. I think we lost in Angelica today too. I saw in Plano or something like that. I haven't been to that one in a long time. I feel bad. But anyway, go out to the theater. It's already after 3. I'll let everyone go. I wasn't going to spend too much on this. But yes, Alamo Drafthouse. It's closed, but it could reopen. And that's all I know from right now. Or that's all I know as of right now is that it could potentially reopen. They say they're going to try to reopen as fast as they can. I've got tickets for next week. Will we have a resolution by next week? Oh, Movie Tavern in Fort Worth. All right. Yeah, there's something called a movie house and eatery near me that I went to one time. I think it's an indie. I mean, or not an indie. Somebody big owns it. It's not Regal or anyone like that. But yeah, I got to check out more of those places because I do like the experiential places. And by experiential, I mainly mean show me something old and let me drink. Because I can catch the wide releases anywhere. They're going to be at a Cinemark around me or what have you, and I can get a dumb drink there. But give me the cool old stuff. So yes, I'll check out Movie Tavern there. All right, pop on again tomorrow. Yes, maybe I will there. When are you coming back? If you've watched many of my broadcasts, you'll know I hate broadcasting alone. Sorry, I'm reading comments over here. This is atrocious to me. Like I wouldn't watch this. So I appreciate that y'all are because I wish I had more stuff to listen to during the day. So I'll jump on and probably do a You, Me, and the New York P tomorrow. I'm all open tomorrow for that. So we'll New York P it up. And even that's just stupid. I don't have any unique angles on it. So that's more what I'm looking for. If there's something fun like this is local and in movie news, and I went there last night, so I'm like, sure, I'll pop on and do 20 minutes on movie stuff. But I would love to play more. Well, yeah, exactly, Eddie. We will get that P because I said, don't come for me, come for the P. Or if you do come for me, stay for the P. Either way, that's how I like it. You, me, and the New York P tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll do it. Maybe I'll get weird and do it at 10 a.m. Maybe I'll do the normal 1 p.m. time. I don't know. But anyway, that's mainly why I haven't been on as much is because I don't particularly like broadcasting alone because it doesn't sound that good to me. I don't think I am much of a great solo host. I think I play off people. Yeah, that's thing. You're never alone. The comments, like I said, they really do save me. Thank you, Rodeo MT52. I'm far better playing off people and just listening and making dumb little jokes or something like that. So if I've got a take on something, I'll pop on here, but I rarely have super, super hot takes on anything like sportsy. And that seems to be what a lot of people are into. So New York Post stuff is more what I'm into because it's just dumb, pure garbage. Or then I'm into other stuff that nobody would care about. So I'm not going to hop on and talk about this. But if there's news like this, Alamo, film stuff, or the New York P that gets weird, I'll jump on and do it. Thanks for hanging out. Keep watching this stuff. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Rodeo MT and Eddie and Tommy. Love you, cats. Appreciate it, Timothy. Later, guys.